obviously, of course, because of course it will. It's too woke that a woman can do anything besides be a woman. Yeah, they're niggas are mad about it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're gonna sit there and tell me that my childhood is not woke enough for you guys now? You're gonna sit there and tell me that Princess Peach purposely getting herself kidnapped by my man Bowser, the King Koopa himself, was? You're telling me I'm wrong for thinking that that's how the story should go now? You're telling me that if you make that a live adaptation, I'm a bad person if I think that Princess Peach should just be a kidnapped bitch? Darnell, I don't subscribe to that attitude.
In distress, I think that's the actual.
I like what I said more. I think I like how I think I like what I said more.
But yeah, she's a complete badass apparently, and motherfuckers are mad about it. And it's just like, shut up, just don't go watch it then, bro. Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna be mad about it, but like, come on, Darnell, how you gonna call her a badass when is she a badass? Well, I mean, is she a badass kidnapped by King? That's like calling Princess Leia a badass while she was kidnapped by Darth Vader and blew up all of Alderaan. I'm like, yeah, she's some badass over there. She's a real ass dude. I'll tell you that much. She's a real ass dude.
When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy? Oh, don't be scared, homie.
Welcome to Throwing Hands.
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail.
My balls are hot.
Pre me and Ian knowing how to drink the right alcohol to keep that weight fluctuation too, because then it'd be months of just 24 packs and 12 packs of Miller High Life, Yingling, just deep heavy beers, followed by McDonald's and all kind of shit. And it was,
you guys were truly Americans.
Oh yeah. Well, then one day I'd wake up and I'd go, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And he'd be like, what's your confession? I'd go, I'm fat. And then Ian knew there would just be a certain like 3 to 4 week, 3 weeks to a month like time where I have this thing that my father had where like I'd be like, damn, I'm getting fat. And then I would just run for 3 weeks. I would run every day. I would like lift like bullshit weights, and then I would just cut off like the fat shit for a while, and I would still drink, and then I'd be like, hey, look at that, I lost it. We're good to go, boys. Let's order McDonald's and Checkers. Checkers is open right now.
He would do these things, but I would never see a change. I'm just like...
Rude. Well, I'm sorry I wasn't flashing you my... Oh, thanks, bud.
Yeah. See?
At the beginning of the story, we thought it was an insult. At the end, we found it was a heartfelt message.
Yeah.
Welcome to Throwing Hands. You already know what it is, guys. We're here to judge the craziness, the bullshit, and the Octagon control that is combat sports today. But there hasn't been any combat sports today or this past week because it was... beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes, yams, hams, chickens, turkeys. What was the one you sent me today, Ian? Frijoles.
The Spanish version, yes.
Yeah. Pan, flan, frijoles, pasteles, pernil, totones, arroz con candule, pollo, guisado, sancocho, you name it!
But yeah, man, happy belated Thanksgiving to you guys. Happy Thanksgiving as we already...
Happy belated Turkey Day.
Happy belated Turkey Day to everybody out there. Darnell, how was your Thanksgiving, man? We didn't even talk to you that day.
I just showed my mom. She surprisingly cooked. That's what threw me off the most. Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to head over. She's like, oh, make sure to grab cranberry sauce for the dressing. I'm like, what?
Okay.
She's like, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, she actually cooked. She didn't go to Fred's like I thought she was going to. That was cool.
What kind of dressing is she using with cranberry sauce? What is that?
Stouffer's oven top.
I don't even remember, but she didn't make it from scratch like she usually does. Like, she straight up was like, I bought the stuffing. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to eat it regardless.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah. So, I was glad that she actually cooked. That was nice.
So, you got a full like turkey and stuffing and everything?
Oh, well, in my house, we turkey. We don't do that shit around here. We just cook chicken or ham.
That makes sense. That's fine.
We don't do that turkey shit. We all understand it.
Allah salam alaikum. You know what I'm saying? I feel you.
Nah,
how does that make sense?
Turkey is dry as shit. I don't care how you make that motherfucker. It's dry as hell.
Wow.
You can put gravy. You can inject it with shit. I don't want it. Get it out of my face.
Get it out of my face, man. Hey, Mom, get that turkey out of my face. I want
So long since she's
chicken and
actually
ham.
No, it's been a minute since she's actually made a turkey. I think I might have been in high school the last time she made a turkey, and then she just seen me not really eat it, and then she was just like, "Oh, he doesn't."
Because she made it wrong.
No, I don't give a fuck whose turkey it is. I'm not touching it. I don't care. I don't want
I'm telling you though, the juiciest turkey I've ever had, and this is no pun intended. This is no homo, but like the juiciest turkey I've ever had was Reese's turkey. It was the best. I ate that turkey.
Wait, how was that homo?
What? Well,
no pun intended.
You're ruining the bit. You're both ruining the bit. You both literally like couldn't have stepped harder. You both went like this, and then made yourself into Titans, and then stomped all over my damn bit. It's crazy. What are you doing? The bit is that I'm dating Reese and she's actually a guy, and I fucking and then that's the bit. It should be.
Jesus Christ! Yeah,
it should have gone without saying.
We came in with sledgehammers and took it out at the legs.
Oh man, it was horrible. You took your cruisers, you shot some weird hook thing, grabbed my legs of my bit, and just wrapped around, and you made some, whatever they say in Star Wars. Let's go for a ride when they do that, or some, horrible. I thought this was a comedy podcast, you guys.
I thought this was an MMA podcast.
My ADHD logic kicked in and said, "Hold on a minute here."
I completely, both of you wouldn't allow it. Both of you flew Confederate flags and said, "Wait a minute, what'd you just say? Why? Hold on now, you can't be." I know you didn't just say what I think you just said.
Why does it have to be a Confederate flag?
I went for Russian.
Sure, but I don't do a good Russian. I do a better Confederate father than I do a good Russian.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. Ian's like, okay, I'll bring my camera back now. It's fine. Boys, but let's talk MMA. Let's do some MMA talk. What do you guys think? Like I said,
this card should have been the last card of the year.
So you want to talk? Let's talk December 3rd card then. Yeah, which I mean, yeah, I agree. When you look at what the last card of the year is, Cannonier versus Strickland, which hype. Not gonna lie, hype. I mean, I'm a big Sean Strickland fan. I'm a big Janet Cannonier fan, or Jared Cannonier. Can't speak. But yeah, compared to like the actual who all is on the card and the stakes for a lot of the fights on the card, for sure this should be end of the year, 100%.
Wait, 282 or
no? The UFC Orlando.
UFC Orlando should be the last fight of the year, not what they currently have, because it's still an event after the pay-per-view on the 10th, and it's just like y'all just kind of slap this shit together.
But that pay-per-view is...
It's like a sloppy ass sandwich. Yeah, the pay-per-view's fine, absolutely.
I mean,
considering what the fuck has happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Speaking of Patty, before did you guys see that video of Patty in somebody's Ring doorbell? I think I sent it into the chat.
Hello, look, my dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside your front path. It is.
I'm 5 minutes away from home. Don't worry, I'll clean it.
Just, you sure? I feel terrible. You know what I mean?
No, it's alright.
He's just had a proper sloppy shit and I can't even pick it up with a poo bag. Know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'll clean it when I get in.
Thank you very much once again. I'm sorry about that. I hate doing stuff like that. That's why I knocked on.
Go on, I'll see you later. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Took a sloppy shit. I've never heard that terminology in my life.
You got the bag. My dog took a sloppy shit on your yard.
Oh my God,
I feel bad leaving it there. Is that Patty? Is that Patty the baddie? And you could see it in his face where he's like, yeah, it is, mate. Yeah. Oh, just leave it there, love. I'll just clean it up.
So wholesome man right there, that's for sure.
100%.
He could have just left that and not said anything.
Hey, I relate to this because I don't know, maybe you're on the other side, but I recently this I make a scene in order so that way people know I'm gonna pick up my dog's poop. there's two sides to me. There's the morning side of Joe where I haven't had to be in a while, where I wake up at 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning and it's pitch dark out and I'm pissed, and there's a spot out in our complex that nobody picks their dog shit up at, and I take my dog right there, directly to there, and then I say, go ahead, poop there, and then I walk away. But then the majority of the time, Joe is the guy who is like, okay, like if I don't have a bag and I'm trying to go get a bag and like crypto shits, I'll be like, I'll make a scene like for people, right? I'll go like this. I'll go, oh, you shit, I have to go get a bag now. Oh man, I'll touch my pockets a bunch and I'll go, I don't have a bag, buddy. You got to go get a bag. And then once he walks away, like once he's done, I'll go, all right, let's go get a bag. And then I don't know why.
And then we leave.
And then I go get a bag, and then I waste my time looking for the poop, and I pick it up because what I'm trying to say here is me and Patty Pimblett are the same person. That's what I'm trying to say. We're just as badass. What, am I not right here by saying that? Okay. Do you not pick up your dog poo? Okay, what I'm hearing is neither of you guys pick up your dog poo. Is what I'm hearing.
Oh no,
I have a backyard for now.
You should still pick up your dog.
I definitely did that shit. That shit was annoying.
Okay, well let's talk the UFC Orlando. Thompson versus Holland. Kevin Holland. Now, let me say something. I was listening to a prior episode of Throwing Hands that we did, and I picked Stephen Thompson, and Darnell was floored. He couldn't believe I would pick that. And I retracted, I believe, and I think I was pretty hesitant on the retraction. I'm going full Kevin Holland this fight. I want Kevin Holland to win. I think he can win. I was listening to what you were saying, and I was like, I don't know if I was just drunk or not listening to you, but you were right. You're right. And because I said back to you, I go, it's a karate fight that Stephen Thompson wants, but you were saying something about Kevin Holland's going to be too aggressive for him or something like that, and I was like, yeah, what you're saying is pretty on par for what's going to happen.
To be honest, I don't remember what I said. So it was definitely obviously something to have Kevin winning. So
right.
But on top of that, someone brought up how old Steven is, and I was like, oh shit. He is on the old side right now.
Fair enough. For UFC standards, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about
and on top of that, no wrestling, so
yeah. What about, and now Kevin Holland's felt the true wrestling of a Dagestanian, so like, you can use that and move forward.
Nah, he ain't Dagestani. We don't know what Chimaev is.
Okay, fair enough.
No, well, he's Chechen, but okay. he got some dangerous ass wrestling.
What about Ian's favorite fight that got canceled? What was that? It was what was that fight?
Oh fuck! It was Brunson. It was Derek Brunson and Jack Hermanson. But Jack at least found a replacement for the fight. He's not like off the card.
Oh yeah, Roman
Dolidis. I don't know how to say that. He's Georgian though, so he's probably a monster.
So going from the top to bottom, we got Stephen Thompson, Kevin Holland, Brian Barberena versus Rafael dos Anjos. I mean, what is he even going for nowadays? Like, what is his...
Just
why he's... Yeah,
money.
That's what it seems like. Because it's like, why are you back at 170?
He's like, I want to be a gatekeeper. I don't know why I made him Arnold, but I was trying to do Brazilian. I did Arnold. Austrian. It's kind of the same thing. Let's see. Whoops. Oh, that's over here. Let me get that.
This flyweight fight, I don't know who these dudes are, but they're ranked.
Matt Schnell, actually, I'm glad I made note that I know Matt Schnell he's a beast. As I remember, I don't know what his last fight was. Maybe if we can get some research from the boys here. I think he's won a pretty good amount of fights. Is he higher ranked than? No, he's lower than whoever. I don't know who this guy is though. Matthias Nikolai or Mateus Nikolai?
Yeah,
Mateus.
His last loss, which was 2 fights ago, was against Brandon Royval.
And he's won 2 fights since then.
He's won 1 fight since then.
Next fight on the card, Tai Tuivasa, baby boy, Sergey Pavlovich.
I don't know how this ain't co-main.
Right? What's going on here? Why have all the heavyweights to be put down? You're picking Tai Tuivasa and Sergey Pavlovich. I think we're all across the board going to go for Tai Tuivasa, correct? Like we're picking Tai for this fight.
Probably going to win.
Yeah.
Jack Hermanson, Roman Dolidze.
I don't know how this fight's going to go. I know Jack doesn't like throwing hands sometimes, though. He just he just does stuff. I don't fuck with his fights. I'm not going to lie.
Yo, I'm just saying, I don't know about paper, like on paper, but guys, Eric Anders, Kyle Dawkins looks like a murder fight.
That's going to be fire. That's going to be fire.
What is that? Like,
Kyle
Dawkins looks like a substitute teacher. Like, I don't know what. Eric Anders also looks like a substitute gym teacher. Like, what? It's the battle of the substitutes.
But they'll beat your ass, though.
They beat your ass, yeah. Oh my God, what's that movie with Ice Cube and Charlie Day? What's that movie? Substitute Teacher, I think, or something like that.
It's Fight something. I know what you're talking about. I never watched that movie. That shit just did not look appealing to me.
No, it's Fight Day with Eric Anders and Kyle Dawkins.
Except they know how to fight.
Right.
For real.
Nico Price and Phil Rowe. By default, I'm going Nico Price because shouts out UFE, shouts out Safe, and shouts out Nico Price. What about you guys? Are you going the other way on this, or?
No, I'm going Nico. He's a demon. 100%. He's always been a demon.
100%. Legend. He's getting that.
I'm going with Nico just based alone on his mustache.
Nice.
So, yeah. Sick fucking mustache.
Sick pics. Yeah. Angela, as I always say, Angela, my grandfather was abducted by aliens Hill versus Emily Ducati. Ducati seems like it's just a fast car. But, this bitch is 1-0. She's 1-0?
And she's...
Who?
Emily Ducati.
She's ranked?
She's 12-6.
Says her record's 1-0 on the UFC website.
Oh, for probably UFC.
Yeah,
I guess so. Because what I'm looking at right now, 12-6.
What do you got on the record for her, Ian? What's her first UFC fight? How'd she win?
It was against Jessica Penne. It was unanimous. I guess Jessica Penn.
Unanimous decision.
But yeah, UD.
Well, that explains why she's gonna be fighting Angela Hill. But I'm going Angela Hill all day on that. What a good number ranking fight, by the way. 12 against 13.
I don't know. Angela makes me mad.
Because of her decision fights or what?
Yeah, like all her fights are just always decisions. Or at least even her split decision losses are like, what the fuck, bro? Like that was definitely her win, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how like a lot of like
she got a TKO in 2019.
I mean, there you have it.
Yep. Oh, she had one in 2020. Yeah, okay.
No? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, she did have one in 2020.
Yeah, her last one was 2020, but, like, it's always far in between with her. Like, all her fights, most of them are decisions.
Submission in 2015. Oh, no, that's when Rose tapped her.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let's talk about
decision.
These next few here. You're good. Clay Guida, Scott Holtzman. Now we have on record of me saying that I think I could beat Clay Guida in an MMA fight or in a street fight. Sorry, a street fight. Like if we street fight, I think I could beat Clay Guida. Or I think I just picked him to fight. Like I would want to fight him. But either way, I mean, are you guys excited to see Clay Guida like fight right now? Or, like, is it like hyping you up like it normally did, or?
Yeah, I'm always hyped to watch him fight. He's fucking hilarious.
I saw a highlight reel, which I'll try to splice in here if I can. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Of him
maybe
burping.
Not. Yeah, you saw that if you're doing all the burps. Yeah.
Right hand, okay? Just nice and relaxed down the middle.
He's a badass, man.
I think he's just gonna get beat the fuck up again.
Well, that's his thing, and that's why I don't want him to. Again, some of these fighters that I talk shit about, where I'm like, I don't want to get the fuck out of here. I just don't want to see them. I don't want to see them get the BJ Penn treatment, where they just start getting beat up and beat up and
Frankie
beat up.
Edgar did.
And
I was right for fights in a row where it was knockout.
Yes, and I was right in the end for being the way I was being about that. Because, again, explaining myself now, saying that it's just that I don't want to see Frankie Edgar like that. I've seen him be the greatest, and I've seen him at his worst. I don't need to see him at his worst. That's the worst.
You don't want to be like DC.
Yeah.
DC was a dickhead on commentary for that shit. He did not have to say that. He could have just shut the fuck up. But he was like, no, this is what happens when you fight for too long. You end up like Frankie. And it's like, damn, bro, you really have to say that. He didn't say that like verbatim.
That's
but
the
he
Def
said
Jam
something pretty
comedy in him,
close
though.
to
You know,
it.
he can't help it. You know.
He's just like, bro, like, you did not have to say that.
But you guys got Clay Guida? You got Scott Holtzman here. I mean,
No, I'm going
Scott.
You going Scott?
I'm going Clay.
Scott's gonna win.
How old is Scott? I can't see.
Scott is
39.
He's 39.
He don't
So
look
it's just
39.
two old men fighting.
Yeah, it's an old. It's two dad. These two dads are in the cul-de-sac right now, and I mean, they've had many discrepancies in the past, but now they've had it. It's a 4th of July party. You guys fill in the rest. One guy was putting in too many. Clay Guida was shooting off too many fireworks, having a good time, burping all loud and shit. And now Scott Holtzman's had it. He spoke to
because his family doesn't like having fun.
He spoke to the association. He spoke to the police, and they're not going to do anything. So now they're going to have it out.
Well, if that's the case, Clay's going to murder this guy to death.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
It's going to murder him to death.
Yeah, bro. He's killing him to death. You seen
Guys, Michael Johnson, Mark Diakasi. I didn't even know Mark Diakasi was still fighting, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He's like a weird, like, kind of like...
I show up when I want to show
almost
up.
Like, yeah, he's kind of like a gatekeeper in a way. Like, he's the guy you fight before you fight somebody ranked almost.
Yeah, but can we talk about, before we even talk about going to that, I'm sorry, I just noticed something as we're talking about that. Michael Johnson's records is 21-18. That's bad.
But the thing is who he loses to, they're all monsters. That's the
true.
crazy
That's
part. And that's kind of why they keep him there, is because all the fights he's lost, they're all good fighters. And he's not like fighting some new dude who like just...
He lost to Clay Guida.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But here's the thing.
Decision.
And that's, I was gonna say, he's lost to, like, you know, Clay Guida before, and also, like, his, like, I don't know, there's a point where it's like making excuses for a fighter goes so far, and it's like, yeah, you got beat by the best, but bro, like, that's how you make a name. Like, you gotta beat the best, fam. Like, that means you're not good. That means you're not better than the best. That means you're not better. That means you're just not even a top 10 fighter, fam. Like, because is he not even ranked anymore, right?
No, because he's been jumping between weight divisions too.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, look at his losses: Beneil Dariush, Nate Diaz, Khabib, Justin Gaethje, Darren Elkins, Josh Emmett. I don't know who Stephen Ray is, or Thiago Moises, and then Clay Guida, and then I don't know who the fuck Jamie Malarkey is. But it's like most of those names, you see them, you're like, oh fuck, like, yeah, goddamn.
Let's talk about the last fight, the workers' man fight, Darren Elkins versus Jonathan Pierce. I don't give a fuck about anything about Jonathan Pierce at all. There's nothing he could sit there and tell me. He could tell me the biggest sob story of his life of all time, and I'd be like, I'd spit right in his face. I'd be like, yeah, what, you gonna talk shit about Darren Elkins? Let's go. Darren Elkins would be like, whoa, man, it's not even that serious. And I'd be like, but
you don't even know Darren.
I don't. But I know that he's a working man. He works doing...
I heard that last year you worked as a pipe fitter, right? You worked 900 hours. Is that accurate? And now you don't have to do that anymore?
But he does that stuff. That's his main job. And then in between that, he does fucking he's a main blue collar guy. And then he's like, oh, is it time for me to... They call him. They're like, hey, Darren Elkins, we need you to like put on a good scrap against somebody. And he goes, bet. Darren Elkins has some of the best. Darren Elkins doesn't have the best wins. He has the best comeback wins. Darren Elkins should always be on main card. When I see him on prelims, I get upset if he's not main eventing the prelim. Shouts out Darren Elkins.
Yeah.
My man's got his nickname tattooed in barbed wire and weird letters on his fucking chest. The Damage. Darren the Damage Elkins. Look, his whole face, just like I'll find it in post, but his face, like when he's younger compared to now, looks completely different almost. Like his face has been so beat up, you know? God, he's such a warrior, Darren Elkins. God. Top 5 fighters. If I can work him in there, top 5 fighters of all time. But we'll kick rocks with the rest of the card after that. It's not too important. We'll try to move on.
No, fuck off! You're gonna disrespect Tracy's fine ass.
I knew you wanted. I knew that was the next fight you wanted to talk about.
Tracy. What the fuck?
Well, then take it away, then. Darnell,
to take
you talk
away.
about.
It's probably gonna be a boring fight. She can box, but like that's about it.
God,
she's like the opposite of fucking Brian. Brian could grapple his ass off, but then
what's with her legs?
Just box.
Legs look ridiculous.
How's she fine?
Nigga, is you serious? What the fuck?
She looks like a fucking man.
Ooh.
Oh my god, bro.
Got them eyes fucking way over here.
That's racist.
My nigga does not like Spanish women, bro.
How's that racist?
Just is.
But these other 3 fights, I kind of don't give a shit about. I hope Marcelo wins so he can finally do his Raptor celebration in the Octagon.
Is that the guy you're talking
That'll
about?
Be pretty. Yeah.
Well, you'll be there to remind us when because yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will. I'm gonna be.
Shouts out. Also, I'm gonna be cheering for that guy too because also not a lot of Argentinian fighters out there in the UFC.
No, there's not.
So, yeah.
And if they are, they're probably at 1. Because one caters to the little guys.
Like,
because by the way, we didn't even talk about that. Jake Paul's trying. He wants to fight Paddy Pimblett.
He's not fighting Paddy.
That's so stupid. Why? That
he wants. Why? Hold on. Can I ask 2 questions right at the back? Can I ask 2 questions and I need to answer separately?
Can I grab another beer?
Yes, because I'll ask Darnell first. Why, Darnell? Why do you say he's not going to fight Paddy? Besides contracts and stuff like that, obviously. But might take that all the way. Why do you say it?
He's not going to fight somebody who's actually been legitimately been training since he was in high school for specifically for MMA, and he obviously has hands. Versus Jake, who did wrestling at first and then kind of started doing boxing
but it's
3
not about
4 years ago.
It's not about if Jake wants it because Jake's asking. He's asking.
It just still wouldn't happen.
Did you see the tweet that he put out?
No, and we follow each other. I don't see his tweets.
I don't know. I don't know why you don't see his tweet. You follow each other. Well, he said.
Yeah, I legit don't.
He put out a tweet and it said, and I have the. I'll put the video in afterwards, but it says right here, "Dear Paddy Pimblett, you claim my fights are rigged. Stop calling the GOAT Anderson Silva a criminal and come spar me. You win, I give you $1 million. I win, you join the United Fighters Association."
Fuck you, I'm not a fucking boxer.
You both talked at the same time. What's happening? What do you say? What?
I said, fuck you, I'm not a fucking boxer. I'm not gonna get in a fucking square fucking ring. Some fucking showboat who fucking pays people to win.
I think you have it all wrong. I think he's gonna go, how fuck? I mean, I've never really boxed before, but if he's gonna pay me $1 million, chomps up to you because he beat me. Good luck. Have fun. But in the end, I'm gonna throw my hands, But shout out my favorite podcast, Throwing Hands, and all that. But in the end, I'm gonna take the fight for the $1 million. That's how it would go.
It's not happening. He's going to continue to fight old people.
I think Paddy has more pride. He's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to box you for $1 million. As much as everyone wants to say it, that's bullshit because it's even at this point, if Paddy just starts training strictly boxing, he's not going to have as much experience boxing and training boxing as one of the Paul brothers.
Right, but you have to understand that not only are they trying to go for the next hypest fight, they realize that going for Conor is for some reason out of their realm right now, but like going for Paddy would be a very next step thing where like if they can just get Paddy on a regular fight, they could both make again. He's gonna make money regardless. That's a bet he's making with him. Outside of that, he's gonna make money. Paddy's gonna make $1 million, close to $1 million, regardless if he takes that fight. And in the end, yeah, would Jake Paul end up winning? Probably, most likely. Jake Paul's strictly training boxing all the time, and Paddy's not. But
that's what I'm saying. Even if it wasn't like rigged or what everyone wants to say, and like Paddy would lose that fight, boxing like fight. I don't think he would get knocked out, but he would lose.
So is Paddy saying? I guess that's what he's saying. Is he saying that like he thinks that the Jake? Is he going like this? Is that oh yeah, those Jake Paul fights? They're pretty rigged to me, if you ask me. Is that what he's saying?
I haven't heard any quotes from it, so
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
But I can assume like a lot of other people do. Like as I feel, I'm like, yeah, a lot of them are bullshit. I think.
Yeah,
I think they
on the same page.
I think they took the dives for a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, I'd do it too. I mean,
Jake ain't shit until he fights a real boxer.
Facts.
I thought one of them did fight a real boxer.
Logan.
What
Logan
Mayweather?
Fucking when he fought Mayweather, like we all know.
No. I thought one of them fought like a different, like actual boxer.
Can I point out that that's so unfair, by the way, to say that like when somebody goes like, well, one of them fought a real boxer, they fight Mayweather, and then people go like that. They do that a lot. They go, yeah, well he fought. I'm like, hold on, what do you want?
No,
you
because Mayweather, all his fights have been exhibitions since fucking Conor.
That's what I'm saying. Like technically, he didn't win, but that boxing match was boring as shit.
Yeah,
I watched it. It was pretty fucking boring. Like Jake got one like solid hit, and then the internet was like, because when Floyd was ducking down, they were like, no, he dropped him there. Like he didn't he wasn't swaying like he normally did. I'm like, yeah, it's because he got hit, but he wasn't fucking out. Like you didn't like rock him. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, as I say, the Paul brothers yet again make it into our psych heist. Yet again.
Yeah, well,
only because you bring it up.
No. Well, since there's no fights, since there was no fights, and we already covered the fights that are coming up this week, we do have videos as per normal, and I'm gonna show them. And I don't think we have to do a Patreon episode this year. This episode. This episode because
it's a long Patreon episode.
It's a long Stella Artois. Because all of these videos that I'm going to show, which we're not going to do right now currently, but all these videos that I'm going to show today are they're YouTube approved. I put them on YouTube and we didn't get taken down. There was no issues or anything. There was no copyright, nothing. So. And they just go through like the rest of the throwing hands, so that's exactly what we want. So I'll be able to show them to you guys, no issue. But before that, on the topic of the fighters, we're just talking about a bunch of fighters. If we could, I don't want to do a top 3 because a top 3 is so hard. I'd like to do a top 4. Top 4 fighters of all time for you guys. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks or anything like that, or the statistics. To you, who's number 1 of all time to number 4? If you want it, we can do top 5, but I figure top 5 is just always too much, so 4 is good to like meet in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Who's gonna go first? Do you want me to go first?
If you're already locked and loaded, you can go first.
All right. John Jones.
Number 1.
Controversy. John Jones, number 1.
Can I ask you? Is it true? Is that for real? John Jones, is it for real that he's actually gonna come back and fight Ngannou for the title? I heard that got signed.
I don't know about just like straight up Ngannou, but it's either gonna be Ngannou or Stipe.
Who else are you gonna put him? Who else are you gonna put him up against? That it's actually gonna be a fight? No.
Stipe. Yeah, Stipe's an old man. He's gonna be, everybody at heavyweight's an old man.
John Jones is gonna murder Stipe.
All right, that's fine.
I agree.
Sacrificial lamb, just to show that John can actually fight at heavyweight and won't get like somehow steamrolled by fucking.
I I think if he goes in against Ngannou right
What's
away,
his name?
then
Yeah,
he
Ngannou. There we
he
go.
gets destroyed. To be honest, like I think if he comes back and fights Ngannou, that's a bad wake up for John Jones. That's his first time he gets knocked down in the UFC, 100%. I was watching some Ngannou highlights like throughout the week. I mean,
I don't think
it's dangerous. That man, he throws caution to the wind when he wasn't training as much, and now he's like a fully certified training machine, and he knows technique, and it's a problem. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so John Jones, Anderson Silva, Kamaru Usman, and then Valentina.
So
yeah, Valentina hasn't beat fucking Amanda, but even that last fight, that was split decision, and it was shenanigans.
So you're going John Jones, Anderson, what was it? Usman, and then Valentina.
Yep.
Ian, go ahead.
First of all, Roy Big Country Nelson. By far my favorite. Well, he's tied with David Rickles.
Okay.
Just because of like, you know, the hype that they had behind them at first. I mean, I still love their fights, even though David Rickles fucking shit the bed like right after I became a fan. Always loved Roy. Third, I would definitely have to say Israel Adesanya.
Nice.
Fourth. Who? I mean, it's kind of a tie. Who I would say fourth between like Connor and Nate.
Interesting.
Because I mean, it's just the person. Well, obviously, when Connor was first storming through, you know, who didn't fucking like Connor? Wish he would come back and not be a fuckface.
Have you seen how
a
big he's
disappointment.
gotten, bro?
Well, yeah, he's gonna go up in a weight class and he's gonna get fucking clobbered.
He ain't making 150. I don't even think he's making 170 as big as he just got.
Regardless,
that man is massive.
But yeah, it's either that or Nate. Nate or Nick. I mean, all three of them could be like my number 4
You got some
spot.
like Jamboree tie for number 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, right off the back, first of all, number 1 and number 2, Nick, then Nate. They can swap. It don't matter.
I knew that.
Nick and Nate all day long, first and second, best fighters, greatest fighters, favorite fighters all time. Then it's gonna go Amanda Nunes for sure at number 3 spot. I just wish people. I just heard the other day somebody talk about on a podcast that might have been Yo MMA Rap that Amanda Nunes doesn't deserve to be in the GOAT conversation, and I was like, I just don't understand that.
That's wild.
I get so frustrated with the whole thing of like, well, it's not that they're only doing it because of male fights. When people say that, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be some guy like some misogynistic push for women's fighting or anything like that. Amanda Nunes deserves to be
divisions.
considered
she
the greatest
deserves
of all time.
Yeah,
like
in the women's division
of all time in MMA. Like it's not about the fact that you be It's like
she is definitely one of the greatest of all time in MMA itself. Yes.
Yeah.
But greatest in the women's division.
Yeah, for sure. She is the greatest in the women's division. 100%.
Yeah,
there should
exactly.
be no arguing that. Yeah.
But she is one of the greatest in UFC/MMA. Yes.
And Valentina right now is trying to make I wouldn't say she herself is trying to make an argument, but her record is trying to make an argument. But she'd have to do so much to touch what Amanda Nunes has accomplished. You know, it's. But anyway, at number 4 is my hardest spot. Because, like, I don't, there's just so many different, like, people that, could come in and out of it at different divisions. And you start remembering, like, oh, there's that guy. And I remember also this. And, obviously a big pick for a lot of people right now is Connor, like, overall. Because he's not just as Safe would say, just like a cop-out pick or, like, makes you sound like a newbie or anything like that. But he's a legend. But for number 4, I'm going to have to say Max Holloway. Max Holloway all day. It is what it is. It is what it is, fam. I'm just gonna have to pick him because I mean, legendary.
He's a great fighter.
Legendary on the mic. I was just watching the other day. It just gave me goosebumps when I was watching it. They put out, UFC was putting out highlights, and they put out the highlight of the first time Max did the thing where he pointed at the center of the octagon, and he was winning the fight so far beyond anything, and he was just like, "You want to fight? You want to go right here in the middle?" And just throws. I mean,
come on.
Every person, every dude, every woman watching the fight was like, "That's stupid. Why would you do that? Why would?" And like logically, right? Every guy, because he's a man and he wants to let him know he's a true warrior. But
it's also like Max fucking in the middle. I forgot who he was fighting, but when he was like telling the guy, he's like, "I keep throwing this. Like, you need to counter it." Like, and he was like showing him in the middle.
Brian. It was Brian Ortega.
Yeah,
and he was like showing him like. But still, I'm like,
yeah, that was a sad.
Such a good pick.
You're getting caught in the middle of a fight, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
me and Ian once went over to a friend of mine's house with her and her husband. Like, they hosted us to watch Max Holloway versus I believe it was Volkanovski actually when Max lost his belt, and fucking. We hyped it up so much. I spent the entire day as we were drinking. Ian's he's pantomiming what we did at the end of the night. We hyped it up so hard at the I was like, you don't understand what Max Holloway's been doing to these cats and what he's about to do to Volkanovski. Like, it's gonna be crazy. And then like cut to
it's just leg kicks.
Well, we fell asleep. We got woken up by the husband with like the baby at the time. He was like, "Hey, you guys good to go home, or you guys need to sleep here?" And I was like, "No, we're gonna go home." And we fucking drunkenly went home.
I don't think I've had a fight actually put me to sleep. God damn.
We fell asleep before the Max Holloway fight.
Damn, that's even worse.
Oh, you've never seen me and Ian crash? Yeah, I mean, me and Ian will crash.
Good Lord.
Guys, thanks for watching those videos with us, and thanks for watching this episode of Throwing Hands. We have more episodes coming out in the future, obviously. If you're not a Patreon member already, go subscribe for $3 a month, and you can see much content we already have on there, a lot of Throwing Hands content and SuperSour content we have coming in the future. You know what it is, plug time-wise. Darnell at BLXNKZ underscore for all his social media and Twitch. Ian's working on his social media currently, and you can follow us, SuperSour JIR, at all social media, and then twitch.tv/SuperSour Games, where you can see and hear Ian. You can't see him, but you can hear him, and
see me in game.
Go check out our audio on Spotify and SoundCloud, and much more. It's all down in the show notes below. We just appreciate you guys. We appreciate you in the MMA community, and we appreciate you for being a part of the Throwing Hands, the only Throwing Hands, the best hardcore casual MMA podcast around. Thanks, guys.
Don't be scared,
Peace.
My fingers are so fat.
Welcome to Throwing Hands.
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail.
My balls are hot.